Hey guys, Infidel1258 here. Today I want to talk to you about price appreciation on the reward cards we receive for playing this amazing blockchain-based video game. It seems to me we've talked about how the ghost card nerfs that are built into the new rank reward system, the fact that you need to own the cards that you play with in order to receive reward shares, and therefore there will be increased demand on many of the cards that we currently hold, which theoretically should drive prices higher. In fact, I think that's already something we've been seeing recently in the marketplace. But is there one more new element to price appreciation that has largely gone unspoken about? I think there might be. We're going to talk about it in this video. And for that, I need to pop over to the Splinterlands Town Hall and remind you guys that we're going to get 12 new reward cards that are going to be added to the reward card pool. And we've seen some of them. Some of the art looks amazing. I think we saw 2 of them. Okay, so we know 2 of the reward cards that are going to be released. And this is one of them. This is the Ever Hungry Skull. In my opinion, this is a must-have new monster card that is going to be really pivotal in certain key game rule sets, including equalizer, opportunity, equal opportunity, melee from any position type attacks, and where magic is weak also. So this is going to be really powerful in a lot of different settings, especially at the higher levels, but even at the lower levels, because 7 armor out the gate. So this is an amazing card. And then we also saw the Vampiric Blossom, which is interesting in its own right, not necessarily as exciting to me. I think this is going to be a good card. I'm going to want to have it, but I find it, I consider it interesting, but not necessary. Regardless, though, these are some of the examples of the cards that are coming to us in the form of the new reward cards. 12 new reward cards we've been promised, and I actually want to spend the rest of the video just exploring what that could do to the economy of reward cards, because now we're moving from, we already know that from the data on the 21 reward cards that are currently in circulation, they're in the 40 to 50% rate range of their release, and so that means that 40 to 50% of all Venari Heatsmiths have been released that will ever exist. And we're getting closer and closer as every single day goes by that will be, it's going to reach 100%. And then usually the prices appreciate significantly after they're out of circulation, once they've been fully released, because there's no more supply clogging the market. But take that one step further. If Heatsmiths are currently, like if these 21 reward cards are currently the only reward cards you can get out of any sort of loot chest from playing Splinterlands, that means that there is a, forgetting for a moment that some are legendary, some are rare, some are epic, some are common, and each has a different drop rate. You have a 1 in 21 chance roughly of getting, if you're going to get a card, that it's going to be one of these 21 cards. Again, putting aside for a moment that epics and legendaries and commons and rares have different drop rates. There's 21 options. If you're getting a card, it's going to be one of these 21 currently. Now, what happens when we add 12 new cards to this this list of cards? Doesn't that necessarily mean that there's a smaller probability that you're going to, for instance, get a Venari Heatsmith or an Exploding Rat or a Lava Launcher? I think it necessarily does, because there's now 12 other cards that could populate into that loot chest. And so I understand we're going to get more loot chests, but we need to somehow think through. I'm trying to think through what it would look like if you suddenly reduced the new circulating supply of Heatsmiths by way of introducing other potential card drops. Do you see what I mean? Because once we get those 12 new cards, including Ever Hungry Skull, and let's just focus on this one. This is a common card. It's going to be a reward card. How does that compare to the other commons that are currently here, like Heatsmith, which is a common rarity? They should have the same drop rate, but there are far more Ever Hungry Skulls that have not been released. That's the first point. So out of the total population of common cards, Ever Hungry Skull should have the most remaining supply, and therefore should drop far more often than Venari Heatsmith or Pellicor Mercenary, etc. And additionally, just by nature of there being 12 new cards to populate within those loot chests, that should mean that these circulate less frequently. And doesn't that necessarily mean that there's a reduction in the the print rate of these 21 cards? And if so, doesn't that mean that there's another reason to think through price appreciation on these 21 reward cards? I actually think it might. Now, it might be modest because they're still going to be in circulation. I'm not saying they suddenly shoot up in dramatic fashion, but if you imagine that we're adding 50%, like, so these cards are roughly half printed, and the 12 new cards that we're getting are fully not in circulation. And so I actually think if you were to put it into a graph of possible cards that could be inside of your loot chest, you're going to see something like 50% chance at these ones, any of these ones, and a 50% chance at any of the new 12. Because the new 12 haven't been issued at all, and therefore they have a bigger pool of possible prints. I hope that makes sense. And if it does, I actually think, and if I'm right about that, then I actually believe that that might mean there would be something significant in the form of price appreciation on these 21 cards. Not what I'm ultimately expecting. Like I've talked to you about Pellicor Mercenary going up 100 times. I still stand by that across a 4-year time horizon. But I'm not talking like that sort of craziness here. I'm just talking, could we see another 50% or a 25% price increase on these numbers? I definitely think so. And at the perfect, it might be this perfect storm of price appreciation because there's the ghost card nerfs, there's the new circulating reward cards and what that would do to the print rates on these ones. There's the perhaps growing interest in the game because, and new signups because of the rewards are growing through the whole new rank reward system. And then we're getting SPS being a functional, an in-game reward also very soon. And then again, Perfect Storm continues because validator nodes are launching soon, and that all that does with the burn rates on SPS and vouchers. And we've got legendary summoners coming really, well, maybe not really soon, but seemingly sooner every day, right? Our first legendary summoner is just around the corner. And so it just feels like there's so many reasons to be excited that I can really imagine price appreciation significantly in the coming weeks and months. Not to the extent I've been predicting of 20, 30, 50, 100x on some of these cards, but what would it do for your personal net worth in this game if the cards you own went up 10% or 20%? I actually think that's possible in the next coming weeks as we see these rank reward changes, as we look forward to the validator implementation, even the pre-sale, and what that will do to SPS and voucher burning, and all the other points I just made there. So I just think the new reward cards are going to be an interesting addition to this almost perfect storm for price appreciation. What do you guys think? And please drop your comments below. I want to think, this is really me trying to think this stuff through. So help me do that. Drop a comment below. And as always, guys, thank you for your time and attention. Have an amazing day. God bless.